Howdy, I see y'all are connecting to your audio. Can you hear me okay? All right, so you got a thumbs up from Professor Silva. Looks like Professor Dorcak, you're still connecting to audio. Just want to make sure you're good to go. I guess it's just the three of us, which is pretty cool because if you'd like, we can work on, we can work in your course if you'd like to get set up using VoiceThread. That's an option. But otherwise, I'll just give you an introduction about VoiceThread and show you the basics on how we've been using it and how you can start using it in your course if you haven't already. I'm gonna go ahead and just start this chat box here, and just, if you don't mind, just give me the thumbs up when all your audio issues are okay. Okay. All right, well, let's just dive right in. It shouldn't take too long. I don't think we're gonna need the whole hour, but VoiceThread, first off, I would say I'd probably classify myself as an intermediate user of VoiceThread. And it's been super fun for me because, learning how to get around in the application, how to access it through Blackboard and start to build a basic VoiceThread, that's just the very beginning. But the real fun starts when you really start to experiment with the different types of discussions that you can implement in your own courses. And, as a designer, I've seen that in probably 99% of the courses that I work on, you always have some form of discussion. But, sometimes the discussions get kind of, I don't know, tired. And, there's really a lot that we can do with some of these technologies that will not only bring your voice and your presence into the course, but make it more exciting for the students and give the students more agency over their contributions. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is my screen here. This is a little Blackboard course that I made for these workshops here. And basically, I like to start it out by just giving you an idea that you can think of VoiceThread as a conversation around a slideshow of your own media files. And those files can be all different types of files. They can be a PowerPoint slide deck, they can be a PDF slide deck, they can be images, video files, and audio files. So you can begin to think about the different types of application that VoiceThread can have. And it's a really versatile tool, whether you're lecturing about history or literature or auditioning, nursing courses, or music. I mean, it's really the sky's the limit. We're using it in different and new exciting ways every day. All right. And since VoiceThread is basically an enhanced discussion board, if you remember in our Blackboard discussion area, creating a discussion board consists of forums and threads. And while it was really great, and it's still a great tool to use in your course, you can see there's nothing too fancy about it. It's text and rectangles, and it can be a great addition to your class. But now that we have access to a tool like VoiceThread, why not use it? And I'm going to show you how to do that. But first, let me just take you through a couple of examples that I found on the interweb that I really like as an example. Let's go ahead and click on this here. I showed this briefly during our more recent tech talks. So if you saw this already, go ahead and chime in on the chat box. Let me bring that open, by the way. Okay. All right, so here's the basic VoiceThread interface. You can see the media is front and center. I like this slide. It's kind of provocative in its own way, but this is the lecture slide. And over here on the left-hand side is what VoiceThread calls the conversation channel. All right, so everybody who's automatically into your course, whenever they make a comment or contribute to the VoiceThread in one of the ways that you're able to, their little image or their picture, their initials go up here on this conversation channel. Before we go forward, I am going to set my Zoom screen sharing options to optimize for video and sound. Okay. So let's just see how this particular instructor started off this course, this VoiceThread.
One of the most amazing aspects of hatred is that children are born with equal capacity for both love and hate, which forces one to ask whether hate is really taught.
So you can see that the instructor started off this slideshow, which has 25 slides, with an audio comment. And the way that they did that was they basically uploaded their media, and then they clicked on this plus sign here. I'll show you in another one, this plus sign here. And then they were given these options on how to comment. And that instructor chose the microphone option, okay? And after he was done making that comment, it got uploaded here into this conversation channel. Now, at the end of this slide, he prompts the students with, you know, an exciting discussion question. And the students have responded with their own contributions. So again, the students were able to hit the plus sign, and this student here chose the text option, and you can see that they were able to contribute to this discussion using this text box. So it's a really cool way to bring a versatile communication method into your discussion boards. And one thing that we've noticed is that in the beginning, a lot of the students, they tend to stick to the text option for whatever reason. Maybe, you know, some students are a little bit uncomfortable, or they're just, you know, not experienced with VoiceThread yet, but as time goes on, we do see that students are using the video and microphone option as they get more comfortable. And especially in the beginning, it's really important to encourage your students and kind of reach out to them one-on-one if possible, to encourage them that they're not only contributing in a way that's appropriate, but that they don't necessarily have to be this expert in using VoiceThread. All right, so again, more on the basic interface. On these arrows here in the bottom right, we can go from slide to slide. This is a slide of a text, some cartoons, some pictures. All right, makes for a really engaging slideshow. All right, let's go back over here. I'm gonna go to this chat. Okay, so super basic question. How did you get to VoiceThread? Sorry if I missed it. All right, cool. Let's jump right in. So from your Blackboard course, VoiceThread is integrated. It's a tool that we have a full license for. And the way that you get to it is from within a content area. All right, so I went to here and I built a content area. In this particular course, I titled this content area VoiceThreads in your course. Now VoiceThread is located under build content. All right, and under this first column, it's right here on the very bottom. Go ahead and click on that. And then you're gonna have to first build the VoiceThread item. So let's just go ahead and title this one syllabus. You can give it a description. Now the first way, there's two ways to do this. The first way, we're not gonna change any settings, okay? We're gonna come back around and we're gonna do this later with grading. But for now, let's just keep it the same. I'm gonna hit submit. So all you've done now is you've created a VoiceThread item. This is that item you've just created right here. So once you've done that, it's time for you to build your VoiceThread. So you click on this, and now since it's integrated to Blackboard, it's going to go ahead and launch the application for you. Takes a few seconds. There we go. So if you've never built a VoiceThread in one of your Blackboard courses, you might have to do a sign-in process, but hopefully you'll just be presented with these three options. And if you're first getting started out, I would recommend you just choose the individual VoiceThread option. All right. And once you click on that, you're going to see that if you don't have anything in your list, this is going to be empty. But when you're first getting started, just go ahead and click on Create a new VoiceThread. Now, once you do that, you're really beginning a three-stage process. And the first stage of that process is to add your media. And VoiceThread makes it really simple for you to add a variety of media. In this case, I'm going to click on here and I'm going to search my computer. And I'm going to go ahead and find a PDF syllabus. And I'm going to click open here and it's going to upload my syllabus. And let's just call this history. Oops. Wild pinky there. All right. And here you can give it a title, you can give it a description, you can give it tags, which will enable you to have an easier time searching for your VoiceThreads as you build up an extensive VoiceThread library. There's other settings under playback options. You can experiment with some of these. Some of the things I like to do is limit the comment methods to microphone, webcam, and text, if I know that some of the students aren't going to be using the telephone. I like to enable threaded commenting because that gives the students the ability to reply to one another, and you can kind of see the conversation channel change the structure based on who's replying to who. You can limit each comment. The default comment length for each slide, not the entire VoiceThread, for each slide is 60 minutes. So there's a lot of capacity here, but if you don't want to spend a lot of time listening to slides or VoiceThreads for whatever reason, you're able to limit each comment. In this case, I'll just go ahead and do that 2 minutes. I hit save there. So now you can see that VoiceThread has uploaded my 5 PDF slides. All right, and I did that by clicking the plus sign and then adding media from one of these sources. Let's say I wanted to briefly introduce myself before talking about the syllabus. So let's go ahead and do that using my webcam video. You can see you get a countdown. Hello, course. Welcome to US History 101. My name is Ron Friedman, and I will be your instructor for this course. Wanted to welcome you to the course, and in a minute here, we're going to take a look at our visually enhanced syllabi. Click stop recording when I'm done with that, and VoiceThread processes this recording, and then it will play it back to you so you can make sure you like it.
Hello, course. Welcome to US History 101. My name is Ron.
All right, let's say I was happy with that. I click save, and now VoiceThread is going to add that into my VoiceThread slide deck. Okay, it takes a while to process, but that's a completely normal process. Depending on how long your video is or how many slides you have, it will take different amounts of time. And now, since I wanted this to be in the beginning, I can just simply click, drag, put that right in the beginning. Okay. I wanted to make an edit to this. I can give it a title, so I know exactly what's on every slide. I can also make changes to the comments. You can see how when I click on this, it kind of turns blue. If I click on this comment button, it takes me back into this video slide, And I can, again, choose to make another comment. Okay. All right, so like we said before, it's a three-stage process. We're going to add media, and then we're going to comment. So we made our first video intro comment. Now I want to comment on this slide. I'm going to go ahead and click on the slide, then click on comment. And now I have the ability to choose my comment method. Let's go ahead and try the microphone. So this is our syllabus for this course, spring 2011. And I want you all to pay particular notice to my office hours, which are available to you Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9:30 a.m. So you've noticed there that I've used some of the tools in VoiceThread, which give us the ability to annotate over the slide. Another useful feature. So after you've gone and you've uploaded your media and you've made your comments, the final step in the process is to share it with the class. And you can see here the share with the class button. Again, I can hit share with class, and VoiceThread is now sending it back over to my Blackboard course. And from there, I'm going to hit my little house button here. And now the VoiceThread that we have just made is linked to this VoiceThread item. So the student comes into the course, they click on this, and VoiceThread will launch for them. And they are taken directly into this interface. So all they have to do is press play and they're off. Okay. Let me go ahead and open up the chat box here. How's everyone doing? Are you guys still with me? Is there anything else, any specific questions that we could go over? Does that process make sense?
Ron, it's John Dorkak.
Hey, there you are.
Yeah, I think I came in right about when you were getting to the material.
Yeah.
So to get into this, you just click on content, and then one of the options is going to be VoiceThread down on the bottom, right?
That's correct, yeah. Are you in front of your computer now?
Yeah.
You want to set up a VoiceThread while you're on your screen?
I mean, try to get into my Blackboard and do one. Let's see if I can do it.
Oh, hey, I know you. You're Judy Silva. Hey, okay, cool. Nice to see you. Yeah, I wish you could talk with your microphone, because I'm interested in hearing how you're thinking about using VoiceThread.
Oh, yes, I can talk. Sorry.
Oh.
It's just that there are dogs occasionally barking in the background, so I didn't really want to subject you to that. Well, I wanted to see if I'm trying to develop some quick tip kind of audio and video files to put onto a web page. I could definitely see the utility in Blackboard, but it's not the only way that we disseminate, videos and stuff. So is it something you can use that you can put onto a website?
Yeah, I don't think so, actually. So since our VoiceThread license is integrated with Blackboard, it's pretty much tied to Blackboard. So anything that you create, you can either embed it in the Blackboard or you can attach it as a web link, but it's only going to be available to you as a instructor license, and then your students have what's called a basic license, which just gives them the ability to watch it in an authenticated environment. And that environment means that it's tied to Blackboard and CSUSB.
So I could do something like this in a Blackboard community, or does it have to be a regular Blackboard course?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great question. I'm going to see if we can do that right now, because that's very interesting. let me open up a community page that I have. Okay, let me share this with you. I believe the answer is yes, but I want to confirm that because that's a new one. Okay, you can see my screen, right? Okay, I'm going to go to this. I'm going to go to our eLearning Academy community. And I'm going to, let's go into this workshop section here, build content, VoiceThread. Yeah, looks like the link is, okay. So yeah, it's just like a course, you can link it. However, I don't know if you're gonna be able to use this enable evaluation function because that's directly tied to the gradebook. So, okay.
Where was that in the
No, that's cool.
grade book? Was that in the grade book?
Yeah,
So
so
you were
actually,
just trying to do that?
yeah, well, not really, but what I can show you is that when you go to your build content section, okay, let me go here. When you go to build content and you create a new VoiceThread item, so build content and VoiceThread, and then let's just make this one syllabus again because, you know, whatever. And then when I scroll down here and under this grading option area, I enable evaluation and I click yes. When I do that, I have to give it some points possible, but this is going to make a significant change once we hit submit, and I'll show you what it does. So I've enabled evaluation, I gave it points, and it's created another VoiceThread item. But this time when I click on this, this is what's going to happen. VoiceThread is going to launch. And now you can see we have this fourth blue rectangle, and this is VoiceThread's assignment builder option. Don't know if I'm having technical issues today or what, but
Your screen is coming in fuzzy. At least
is it really?
On both monitors I have here.
Oh wow, yeah, I seem to be having some type of technical issue. Let me.
That's sharp again now. Every once in a while it sharpens up.
Okay, maybe this will help because I was in full screen there, but yeah, I don't know. Some days are better than others. You know what I mean?
So you went in to create an assignment, and then after you created the assignment, you went to VoiceThread, and then it gives you this additional VoiceThread ability. Yeah, it's taking a little while to sharpen up each time you go to something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm very sorry about that. I don't know why that's happening.
It's okay. I think we're getting the gist of this.
Okay.
At least I am. Yeah, see, now your picture sharpened up again. So what you're going to be able to do here within this assignment is give some voice instructions then, right?
Well, no. So
is that what you were interested in, Judy?
I did the exact same thing. I went to build content and I selected VoiceThread, but in those initial settings, I enabled evaluation and I gave it a point total. And that gave me the option to use VoiceThread's built-in assignment builder. And when I clicked on that assignment builder, I have these three options to use as VoiceThread assignments. The most basic option is for a student to just watch a VoiceThread and get points for it. This option requires them to submit a comment to a VoiceThread that we have created. And this one here allows the student to create their own VoiceThread. So think, you know, presentations, you know, more of a much more involved assignment process for the student. Okay, so when I click on one of these, let's just say I'm going to start with watch a VoiceThread. You can see, let's say I want them to watch our syllabus VoiceThread that we just created. I can go ahead and put a description in this assignment box. Please watch the following syllabus VoiceThread.
What's taking time to sharpen up on your picture, Ron, at least for me, is your Blackboard portion. The little you know, speaker view or whatever it is, the people on the side, that's coming in sharp all the time on both my monitors. I don't know why it's doing that. Now it's sharp again, but then every once in a while your Blackboard gets fuzzy.
Oh yeah, weird. I don't know, you know, we've been having some funky issues today with Blackboard since 8 in the morning. We've had
Okay.
A bunch of tickets coming through with different formatting and like visual effects going on. So I think it's something out of our control.
Okay.
But anyway, once I hit created an assignment, VoiceThread actually creates this different process for the student. So when the student clicks on this assignment, VoiceThread is going to launch again. And this time they're going to be graded on whether or not they accomplished the assignment criteria. In this case, their assignment was to watch the VoiceThread. All right, so this is VoiceThread's grading interface. You don't see anything here, but when the students submit or complete the assignment, you'll see their name here on this column. And then when you see their name, you have the ability to click on it and then give them the grade in points format. And you also have the ability to give them personalized feedback. Once you do that, VoiceThread automatically sends that grading information into your gradebook.
Judith, is that what you were thinking of doing? I missed your question to Ron, to actually create like a feedback on an assignment, or was there something else you were looking for?
I was looking for something else, but what I like about this is if you had different options for ways that students could demonstrate their performance on some kind of a learning outcome, this could be one of those options, because it's not doing the grading automatically. It's just telling you if it's submitted, so then you can use the rubric or whatever you need to use to assign the grade. So I am intrigued as this being a way to provide multiple options for how students demonstrate their performance of, you know, whatever kinds of learning outcomes. So that is awesome. I'm happy to know that.
Ron,
Absolutely.
what are you broadcasting in? Zoom, right? Yeah, okay. I'm trying to see what might be your issue and what might be my issue here. They're being totally unresponsive to me on my technology, despite the fact I started requesting stuff before the pandemic. So I use this to kind of test what's working and not working here. I had a question about trying to use this, tool. I just went over, like when you said, see if I could find it in the course. When I went to discussion board, it doesn't seem to be there, because that's one of the questions I posed at that tech talk.
Mm-hmm.
Could I enable the students to talk with each other in the Blackboard course, asynchronously, like you do in a discussion board with VoiceThread? It doesn't seem to be there, right? But there might be a way around that.
So I don't know if I understand the question, but VoiceThread is basically, it is a virtual discussion board by design. So when you create a VoiceThread, students have the ability to comment and discuss amongst each other within that VoiceThread. They also have that same interface where they can click the plus sign and then choose their comment method. So you don't actually have to enable any type of discussion board or forum. That's how the VoiceThread environment is actually designed.
So I could be allowing them to talk with each other on the assignment, right? I don't need to put it over in discussion board. I'm putting it on the assignment.
Exactly.
Here's my assignment. It's the work. Okay. And then enable the VoiceThread there. Because I tell them, for their projects, they can work together. They each have to hand their own in, though, if it's not a group project. This would give them a way to, and if they want to get together, they can share email or whatever. They're somewhat worried about the students cheating through whatever means. That's another issue. I'm just trying to give them a way, if it's an asynchronous course, to kind of get together, right?
Yeah.
Which a lot of them know anyhow, right? But I'm trying to give them like some, officially sanctioned way, right? Then they can go from there. Apparently what they were doing, I don't know if this came out of your ATI or other places, I was seeing it in different places from campus, they were getting the email addresses out of the Blackboard course and then going off and creating group me's in order to, get around a lot of the the rules on academic honesty.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now
Right.
I'm trying, Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can see exactly how they do it. You know, most of that I don't know from campus. I know it from having an 18-year-old or an 8-year-old, right?
Right.
So,
Well, yeah.
yeah,
So
so
in that,
I'm trying to use what we've got to enable them to do things that they should be doing, right? Because they told me to plug the hole in Blackboard so they can't get each other's email addresses, right? Theoretically, there was a way to do that. I did it. I hope it worked. Um, so they wouldn't go in right away and get everybody else's email address in the course, right? And then they try to create their, you know, we want some study groups, but we don't want illicit study groups. But
yeah, absolutely, yeah. But yeah, the key
that
to
was
all
my
that is
question
that.
at that tech talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, in that respect, VoiceThread will lock them into that environment, and it, like you said, it is asynchronous, and that's the key. You know, you got to give this VoiceThread a certain time period for it to evolve, and as the comments, you know, begin to grow in that conversation channel.
Now we got something else going on here. There's too many different, you know, cooks in the kitchen here. That is the Alley and ATAC, you know, making this accessible. Okay. When VoiceThread records this, is there any script created by VoiceThread?
Yeah, so the good thing about VoiceThread is that it was designed around UDL, right? Universal Design for Learning. And it has wonderful features built right into it that address accessibility. So part of our license includes the closed captioning option. So when you go and you create your VoiceThread, if it's a voice comment or if it's a video comment, you'll notice in the comment box after it's uploaded, you'll have a CC button. When you click on that, it automatically sends your captions. And then within, I don't know, 1 to 2 days on average now, that comment will be completely captioned. And the caption process works very, very well. It's much more accurate than you would get using like a YouTube automatic captioning.
It's
so
better than YouTube because
it's much better, much better.
I've mentioned that before when we've had this discussion. The stuff I get out of YouTube is pretty good. And the international faculty tell me that's because I have a Midwestern US accent. So it seems to be, or dialect, whatever's the correct term. So it seems to come out okay. So you're saying VoiceThread is better, but it might take a day or two to process.
Yeah, that's what they're saying now, but I'm seeing that it's happening much quicker than that.
Okay. Now that would take care of, I don't know, whatever the politically correct term is, the hearing impaired, right? What about the visually impaired?
So it's all about how you use it. And so some people are beginning to, so yeah, for example, I'm working with an instructor, faculty member, Sharon Pierce, in a PA course, and she's starting to use VoiceThread, and she loves it because she makes video comments for every slide, but then she uploads her transcript, basically, of what she just said as a separate comment underneath her video comment. So she makes 2 comments per slide. She makes 1 video, and then she attaches the transcript in a text comment. So she does that because it boosts accessibility, and she happens to have 2 visually impaired students in that class who can listen to it, but, you know, or hearing impaired students, but they can also read the text comment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, the visually impaired, my understanding is if they can get a script, they have some software tools that'll translate that into language. Is that correct? Because this is where, you know, I'm behind on some stuff and I'm ahead on other stuff, right? It's like that, you know, but if I'm ahead on something, all of a sudden they're dragging me back and they're saying, well, you know, you didn't do this now. So PA, yeah, they're great at putting the stuff online, but if you have to create a transcript of, you know, everything I say, you can tell by the way I'm talking already. I don't have time for that.
Right. Yeah. Someone like you is probably going to take full advantage of the closed captioning, you know, so you're going to do your videos and then you're going to have the closed captioned over your video. Right
from VoiceThread.
From VoiceThread, exactly.
Yeah. But again, it's not really a video tool, right? It's not, I couldn't sit and like, you wouldn't be looking at me. It's looking at a document or something else, right?
No, it could be looking at you.
How do I get that to work?
So
I must have missed that. You put the document up okay, and you're talking over the document,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but how does it like see your picture or?
Okay, so here's a little slideshow. Can you see this?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
coming in.
So here's a little slideshow that I've been making for just to experiment, but here's my plus button. This is my comment button. All right, when I click on this, these are my options. This is my
Okay.
text, my telephone, my microphone, and this guy here is my webcam. So
Okay.
when I click on this, it's going to give me this countdown.
Okay.
And then it's recording me using my webcam. It's not
What's
doing
it
it now.
recording? Is it recording you or is it recording that screen? Oh, there it is. It's recording a little picture of you on the side of the screen.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. Let me open up my laptop because right now I'm using my webcam for Zoom, but let's try it this way. Sometimes this works.
So you'd be in the picture too, sort of like we are in Zoom, right over on the side, maybe.
Exactly, yeah. So
Yeah, okay.
see this little picture of me now that I'm using my separate computer. So,
Yeah.
you know, this could be your only way to make a comment, and that's fine. You could do it using video. Once you're done, you hit stop recording, and it's going to upload my video.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hit save, and then you can see here on this conversation channel,
Right.
it's processing. Let's just go ahead and take a look at what it looks like when it's done. Yeah, it's a slowpoke today. For
Yeah.
sure.
It could be again, yeah, it could be Blackboard based on what you said. And
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to do that Google training yet. I know some of it's recorded. I think Mauricio did that. The two kids are doing Google. You know, one's a high school senior, one's a second grader. So I'm trying to. I've been telling Mauricio that I'm trying to catch up on Google so I know what they're doing. But you know, this Blackboard's always been kind of clunky. You know, yeah. There was
yeah,
a.
so, you know,
Yeah, how much capacity is there in there? How long can those videos be? One thing you showed is the audio could go up to 60 minutes. But
yeah,
you know, if the video is longer, is it going to tax the capacity of Blackboard?
no, it shouldn't. Actually, you should be able to make a 60-minute comment on each slide. So I could record my video here for 60 minutes if I wanted to. And I can do that for each and every slide. So VoiceThread, the infrastructure behind VoiceThread is cloud-based. So everything that's made on VoiceThread, whether it's a video or an audio or whatever comment you make, it's going to be cloud-based. And VoiceThread is able to handle that type of expansion and that type of bandwidth using their technology servers. So I just want to show you. So on this slide here, right? I've made two comments. This first comment here is an audio comment.
Hey everybody, my name.
Oh, and now you can see, see how quick this was? I made this audio comment this morning, and here it's already been captioned. You see that?
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I can see it better on my other.
Yeah, so this is just audio, but it's wonderfully captioned.
Yeah.
You know, even with the capital letters, comma, punctuation, all that stuff. So that's my first comment.
My name's Ron Friedman, and I just wanted.
And then my second comment, the one that we just did together, is right underneath it.
Now that I'm using my separate computer, so, you know, this could be your only way to make a comment.
See that?
Video's working. How about the closed caption? Not processed yet?
So it's not processed yet, but if I were to click on this closed caption,
And that's fine.
You go ahead and you can order this. You can either upload your own captions or you can send it away. And I think the way we have it now is it automatically will send it out to captioning for you, just like it did in this comment here.
Hey everybody.
So yeah, pretty nifty accessibility wise. I mean, you get a lot of built-in accessibility features using VoiceThread. So, you know, you're really getting a lot.
Now, my question would be like, if I try to put these courses together with VoiceThread, you know, I went ahead and I demonstrated it could be done. I think winter 2018, I just recorded the class live in class, right? And I didn't break up the problems individually. I teach accounting and finance. I don't know what Judith teaches, but the lectures are usually only 30 or 40 minutes, and then it's working problems. Then we tried that with ATI, but then what worked better with them was last summer I went in and we recorded, right? But I had to go there every Monday. I was doing online classes asynchronous. And I think I told that story. The first day we were there for 6 or 8 hours in the studio. We only got 2 hours of recording. I said, this will kill me. And I had said on the front end that, it was like Jackie Gleason, a live audience, one camera, one take. We got to that. That's what he said he wanted with the Honeymooners. We got to that after that first session. I went back and recorded on my own night in Jack Brown Hall before the academic. And I thought, I can do this. So then we went back, and pretty much as everybody got better at it, we could record in 6 hours, almost 6 hours worth of material.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, the lecture, and then we had Takia there, who's off to Northridge, I guess now, and we recorded each problem separately. I still can't do that in class myself because we don't have a camera that has a pause or a remote. Hard to even find one. So once I start it'll shut off after about an hour if I'm working problems, and then start up again on its own. So it chunks it out that way. Yeah. But I'm looking ahead now. Okay, well, what am I going to do next summer? If campus isn't open and I can't go to the studio, they did a wonderful job packaging all my stuff then, because we recorded each problem one at a time, because they'd give me 5 minutes to get ready or less, right? And then boom, we'd record another problem. And we kept doing that besides our 30 or 40-minute lecture, that would introduce a chapter, say. And then they packaged all that. It looks really nice in the course. That's basically the Tax 1 course that I teach many times, throughout the year. But I've got one way I think I could do it. If apparently I'm falling out of sorts. I think I have to read between the lines from a distance politically with some of the people, because my technology is going to fail me here. This Surface we're working on is 4 years old, and I talked to our business tech back in February, right before we knew the pandemic was here, mostly. But I could record in Zoom, right? Yeah. But then I've got to download it and upload it, right? Which is probably going to take forever. On campus that was slow, because if I download it from Zoom and upload it to YouTube, okay, I've got a YouTube video now. They'll caption it for me. It'll be pretty close. ATAC won't be happy, but I could probably make an argument it's good enough. If I do this with VoiceThread, okay, I got to know it's going to work, because my first try with ATI in fall of 2018, was it? Yeah, it didn't go that well. I said, okay, I won't record live in class Tax 1. I'll let you do it. But that wasn't how they could work. So then when I went in and did it over the summer, okay, they could do that. But now I may be here on my own. Yeah. The same way I'm trying to read the political tea leaves from here, I'm going to have to read the technological tea leaves from here. Right?
Well, you know what? Just give it a try. I mean, try to see how it goes. I mean, you have a great webcam in front of you.
It's working right now, but the screen is failing on this Surface. Okay, the camera's all right. Yeah, so I've got when I look to the side, I've got my own monitor that I bought. Right, so this is like the Cal State fix. Like when the screen that you pull down breaks and they put a new one in front of it in Jack Brown Hall. All right. Yeah. They're telling me, well, just use your other monitor. Your screen's fading or failing. It's a common problem on your Surface 4. Well, that's fine, except I don't have a touch monitor on the big one, and the camera's over here. Okay, so I got to keep, very nicely telling them in writing, what I need and what's not working, and I'm at the back of the line. Yeah. I just want to get in the line. I'm having trouble even getting in the line right now to get my technology. So if I go into, your VoiceThread and I play with it, I could try it on a few small assignments, right? Where I give my comments and maybe have the students give some comments back. But I'm talking about a big undertaking here if it's the entire Tax 1 course, because last year, 19, 20, 18, 19, we offered that at least 5 times online asynchronous, and that's what those recordings were supposed to be good for. This year is probably going to be 5 or more times online asynchronous, and the recordings are nice because they were done last summer by ATI. All right, but there's volume here, right? I think I kept them all really busy, editing all that stuff. They did a wonderful job, but I need some kind of system, right, that's going to work.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's about being extremely clear with your instructional strategy. I mean, you get a lot of production value when you go to ATI during the studio, but you're creating a passive experience for the students. So yeah, you're going to lose some of that production value in VoiceThread, but it's going to be much more casual, but it's also going to be much more, I hate to say it, but humanistic, because, it's more conversation based, it's asynchronous, but they're not just sitting there watching you. They're sitting there, and you can incorporate prompts into your lectures, and, the way that you do that over time is going to make a difference in the entire experience. So
I forgot they're recording this seminar, I didn't say anything yet to get me in trouble. For years, I've been recording my classes audio. And now sometimes, I don't know, what I can say now, right? Those audio recordings I can turn on and off with a little handheld dictating unit, all right? You can edit those. I can't do those with the video in class unless I cumbersomely walk over to the camera and turn it off and turn it back on.
Right. Well, on that note, let me show you a couple of...
The message here, you may cut out on me.
Uh-oh. Well, let me show you a couple of things that might be useful for you when you're in your VoiceThread app. So I'm going to so once you start creating your VoiceThreads, you're going to see a library similar to like this, right? And you can see, I mean, I'm an admin, so I have access to all of these VoiceThreads that have been going on in CSUSB. But once you create a VoiceThread and you want to make changes to it, you can do that by putting your mouse over each of these tiles here, and then using these icons on the bottom, you can see you have the ability to delete the whole thing entirely, or you can make a copy of it and roll it over into another section or another quarter or semester or whatever, or you can click the edit button, and that takes you back into your VoiceThread where you see all of the individual slides, and then you can go into each individual slide and you can choose to comment and update whatever you want to do. Okay, so again, that's when you're browsing through all of your VoiceThreads here. You can see everything that you've created. And then if you hover over each tile, you can click on edit, share, copy, all of these different things to get familiar with. But once you do that, you can see that your slides are presented and you're back into your VoiceThread.
Nope. That was just when you clicked into VoiceThread, you get all your past VoiceThread assignments there that you've created?
Correct. And they're not necessarily assignments. They're just VoiceThreads that I've created.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. So basically when you start, if let's say you make a VoiceThread for every module, you'll have your module 1 VoiceThread here, your module 2, your module 3, and then you can continue to update these and edit them and share them with your courses using the VoiceThread built-in file management system, which is what this is.
Okay. Now would that be on a per course basis because it's integrated with Blackboard when I go into VoiceThread, or is that all my VoiceThreads from all my courses?
Yeah, so this is the course view here, right? So these are all my courses. And when I click on this particular course, these are the VoiceThreads that I've made for this course. Here's a psychology course. These are the voice threads made for this psychology course and so on. So as you begin to create voice threads, whatever Blackboard course you create them in, it will automatically create this course list. All right, so if you have 4 sections of whatever course you're teaching, you're going to have one of these areas for each section. And within that section, you're going to have the specific voice threads that you created. Judy asked if we could show an example of how you set up a prompt for learners.
I'm sorry, I'm dominating.
She asked if how we could set up a prompt for learners to post a comment. Okay, so tell me about the prompt. Like, how is this supposed to look? How are you going to design this?
So I was thinking, if you have a presentation and you have like maybe a voice or a video comment that you as the instructor post to give a little context or explanation for the content that's in the slide, and you want to invite students to comment or provide some feedback or give an example, how would you set that up?
Okay, so does the comment that you're going to make the prompt, how do you want to do that? Do you want to do that with your voice or with your webcam or just text or what?
Any of those. I would probably do it with webcam and voice.
Okay, so what I've been doing is I've been creating like slides in Google Slides, right? So
okay.
For example, here's, well, I don't have you on shared anymore, but so here's like a Google slideshow, right? And if I were just to create, let's say, a new slide, and then, you know, make a text box in here, and let's say, oh, you can't see that here. Let me just make this white. Okay, so this could be like your prompt, right? You could do it this way, and then after you save this slide, you can download this slide as a PDF, just like this, from here. Once you have it as a PDF, you could then go back over to your VoiceThread, and you can drop it into your VoiceThread using that plus sign. All right, so let me just show you how we can do that. All right, here's our syllabus one here. I'm going to go ahead and edit. Okay, so if I had that PDF, right, I would click on Add Media and I would browse my computer and I would find that particular PDF. That makes sense, right? Okay, but to answer your question before, if you wanted to do it as a video, you would choose webcam video as the comment or the slide creation method. So when I choose on that, I'm prompted with this recording. So hey everybody, in this video, I'm going to prompt you to respond to a couple of different things. The first thing I want you to make a comment on is how did you react to your initial response to the COVID-19 work at home order, right? Whatever it might be. I'm going to go ahead and click stop, and then I'm going to save it. Now what VoiceThread is doing is processing that video clip that I just made, but it's going to process it as its own slide within this slideshow. All right, so while that's processing, I'm going to go ahead and do it again, but this time I'm going to do it with an audio recording, which is using my webcam. And this is an example of a basic audio recording without any video. Okay, so now when we're going back over our VoiceThread, by clicking on each slide, eventually I'm going to get to this slide here that you made. And when the students press play.
So hey everybody, in this video, I'm going to prompt you to respond to a couple of different things.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So the students will know that for them to post, you know, their comment, they would use that plus sign to create their
Correct.
own comment, right?
That's
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
So pretty much anywhere you can tag or put a comment into your presentation, and students are just watching it and they're using the play button or the plus sign or whatever controls they see to make their contributions.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, you got it. Exactly.
Okay.
And that's just the most basic way that they
So this is
can use
how
voice.
remedial my level is.
No, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, no, it'll make a lot more sense when you get in there and you do it, but you're exactly right. You hit it on the head with that. And I'll just show
Okay.
you one more time here. In this example here, you can see, so this is the VoiceThread, and this is the entire conversation channel. So these are all the students in your class, and they've all gone and they've made comments here. Each one has their own comment. These all happen to be text. Here's an audio comment.
Well, I think that.
Right, another text comment. So, you know, in a nice mixture, in a VoiceThread, you'll have a nice mixture of text and video and comment, and you'll see people and hear people, and it creates a very interesting conversation around the content that you upload. So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff, but you just got to get in there, build content, create your first VoiceThread, and get going from there.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. It's helpful. Now it's like which tools to utilize. This session, I've had to figure out, okay, is that my connection to the internet because I've got an 18-year-old on a project to upgrade our router, or is it my vibrating screen on my Surface 4, or is it your problem in Blackboard? You know, and it's the combination of all three.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
It's not an either or, it's all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're all going to face this. If this, you know, if it doesn't end soon, the technology is going to continue to be overtaxed. One of the docs, we said he's got his money, so he's got everything in the house on the internet, and this is several weeks ago. And he went out and got a new router, but he couldn't hook it up. He said, "Oh, you're lucky you got an 18-year-old. You may be able to do it."
Yeah.
And the 8-year-old gets impatient with me, you know, when I'm trying to figure out what he's doing in Google Classroom. But they don't appreciate it. I said, let me give you a tax question you don't understand and see how you handle that one.
Yeah, you got some ammunition too, huh?
But it's not relevant to them though.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for doing this. It's been very helpful.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, it's been a crazy week already. So I hope, you know, I was worried I'd even get through this one, but I'm glad it was of some use for you.
Yeah, there was one scheduled at 11:30. Did that not come off? It was supposed to be Zoom security. So I was going to try to, yeah.
Oh.
I couldn't get into it, and then I thought, oh, is it something I'm doing? But I kept trying to get into it, and it wouldn't let me in. So it kept saying, wait for the host to start. So I was assuming it didn't start.
I just asked my buddy John Brooks. He's the one who does all the Zoom stuff, and I asked him if he had anybody attend his 11:30, and he said 0. So maybe he
I came in about 5 or 10 minutes late, and then maybe he was gone already.
Oh yeah, see, that's what happened. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
But if you go on the website, you'll find it.
I've been doing it for a while. It's not all it's cracked up to be, right?
Yeah.
There's always something else to do. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's even harder than being on time for our campus meetings.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was it then. Well, yeah. I could use another update on that. So if he offers it again, I'll watch for it. Or there's a recording, right? There should be.
Yeah, yeah. If you go on the ATI website, you'll see a recording archive of all the workshops that we've been doing. So
Now, are they dated too? It does tell you the date on those, right? Because that's
does.
what I'm running in with with the tax stuff and even with the technology stuff on campus. With the tax stuff, I have to, if it's a recording, I have to know which day it was made, because they're changing stuff daily.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of the tax changes are tied into the coronavirus
Right.
legislation. So yeah, okay. Well, that makes sense then. I was about 5 or 10 minutes behind, like I was here with you, but I caught it right at the right time, I think. So he was probably there and going already. All right, I'll go back and look for it. I do want to go back, but it's like everything else. If I do it in real time, I'll be there, right? Or like our 8-year-old keeps saying IRL. I told him, I said, you know what an IRRL is? That's the interest rate reduction loan you can get with the VA, right? Yeah, the guy called me, but this is how fast everything happens, right? He calls me, when was that? A week ago, Monday? Yeah, and we're talking. I wasn't going to take the call. I was so busy, and I'm busier now than ever. I take the call. All right, we can do it because it's a 0.5 point decline right now. So we start processing everything. At midnight, I'm sending him stuff, and he's sending back, right? So he's up. Next morning, it's not there anymore.
Oh man.
Yeah, he couldn't get it. We need a 0.5 point decline on the VA to justify the IRRL, which is not an IRL.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that stuff.
No, that's what I'm saying. I could always pull another rabbit out of the hat here, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really carry much weight with with
Not
the
yet.
18-year-old. With the students I have on campus, right? It will, but I must have scared them out in the first Zoom session for office hours. I'm not doing live classes because they know they can manage me better if it's all asynchronous, right?
Yeah.
Well, Judith's having a good time. She looks like she's outside. You look
Yeah.
like you have those lights from, those came from, what's that store my 18-year-old likes? He's a handyman type with some of his stuff. Harbor Freight. Your lights.
Oh.
Yeah, those look like Harbor Freight lights hanging from your gutter there.
Well, they're Amazon lights, I think.
Okay, well.
Harbor Freight probably would have been better.
It's the same supplier, probably.
Yeah.
Somebody in China.
Well, whatever it is,
Literally.
it means spring is here, and pretty soon she'll be drinking wine out there in a nice sunset, right?
Well, you know
You
what's
betcha.
good? Where are you? Are you in the San Bernardino area, Judith?
Yeah. I'm in Highland, and I am enjoying being outside because the cold and the rain have really dragged me down. I needed a little sunshine.
Yeah, I'm in North County, San Diego, right outside that door behind me. It's nice, right? But I'd have to move all this technology that's plugged in to be outside like some of the people have been.
Yeah.
And it's all on wires yet. I could probably do it with if I get the boost on the wireless connection in the house now. But we're supposed to have 80s down here on toward the end of this week, which is all good, I guess, for what little I know about the virus. My wife's on the edge of it because she's a marriage family therapist. You may have some background in some of this. Yeah, so the hotter temperatures, Arizona is going to be great.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, you guys, if you need anything else, you can schedule a one-on-one appointment with any of the designers. You can find that link on the website, and don't hesitate to reach out for whatever it might be.
Thank you so much. This was fantastic.
Oh, good. Okay. Thanks.
Ron, is that the best way to reach somebody? Particular question right now is to go through that website. And can you reach individual people and say, I want this to go to somebody individual?
Yeah, because the way they have it set up, it's integrated with our calendar. So you can actually book us on our calendar.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, you guys.
Thanks a lot.